Hey guys, I want to do a review for a movie I just watched last night, and I'd been putting this movie off for a long time for some reason, and it's a shame, but it's Blowout, put out in 1981 by the Criterion Collection, and this is from Brian De Palma, and it stars John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow, and I'm a big fan of John Lithgow more than anybody in this movie. Like John Travolta's okay, he's played in some good movies I liked, but he's not anybody I would actually buy a movie just to see. But I do like John Lithgow a lot. In all his comedies, I liked him in Dexter as the psycho and stuff, and he plays a psycho in this, and it's really good. But essentially, for anybody who hasn't seen this, John Travolta plays a sound effects guy for horror movies, and one thing I want to point out too, in his office, I think this was at a real film office because this was made in '81, and like I said, in the office you see posters for Boogeyman, the British horror movie. You see poster for Squirm. You see a poster for the Food of the Gods. There was a bunch of them that I recognize, and oddly enough, Scream Factory released for every single one of them. The Incredible Melting Man, there was a poster for. There was just a ton of them. Like, it was really cool just seeing John Travolta walk down this hallway and just seeing all these horror movie posters. But anyways, John Travolta plays a sound effects guy, and he's out on this bridge, kind of. He's trying to get sound effects for wind for this movie he's making, and he ends up. There's this big car crash or whatever, and he ends up kind of recording the sound of it and seeing it, and he ends up diving into the water to help save the people in this car because it goes off a bridge into the water, and it ends up being Nancy Allen, and then he later finds out the person in the driver's seat was the president. It's not really a spoiler; it happens in like the first 20 minutes. So the president was in the driving, and they kind of the government or whoever comes in and tells John Travolta to basically keep quiet and saying. And Nancy Allen was pretty much a prostitute, and they don't want the dude's family knowing he died with a prostitute in the car and all that. So it was just a really good movie. But that's pretty much it. He's trying to prove that this was all a conspiracy and that the president was assassinated because he hears a gunshot before the car drives off the bridge, and everyone's saying that he was just drunk and drove the car off the bridge. But John Travolta is trying to persuade everyone that it was an assassination attempt. Like, he heard a gunshot, he's piecing together pictures of it with the sound, and it's just a really good movie. He's trying to protect Nancy Allen, and they're working together, and John Lithgow plays like an assassin, like a psycho dude who's kind of working for the government, and he had wanted to assassinate this dude because he was running, I think, for second election or first election or whatever, but he wanted to assassinate him to get him out of the running. And he's basically trying to cover up loose ends, and he's trying to kill John Travolta, he's trying to kill Nancy Allen, and basically he's trying to make it to where he doesn't look suspicious. So John Lithgow meanwhile is killing all these random women in this town to make it look like there's some psycho out there, like, doing sex crimes, strangling these women, so when he does get to Nancy Allen, he could kill her, and it would look like this maniac did it, and he wouldn't be suspected of anything. So it's a really interesting story. It's really cool. It's really well done. It's definitely my favorite Brian De Palma movie I've seen so far. There's still some I have to see, like Sisters. I haven't seen. There's a few others, but out of like all of them that I've seen so far, like Scarface, Dress to Kill, Carrie, all the ones I've seen, this one's definitely my favorite. The ending scene like blew me away. I did not see it coming at all. Like, I was just floored when I saw this ending. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. But when it happened, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, John Lithgow played an amazing psycho in it. There's some really creepy scenes with him just kind of stalking prostitutes and strangling them and stuff. And it's Brian De Palma, so the cinematography's good, the music's good, and there's a reason why it's on the Criterion Collection. It was just a super good movie. I give it my highest recommendation. It's one of my favorite Criterion releases now, and it's one of those things where I'm kicking myself for not have watching it earlier. I don't know why I kept shrugging it off, but yeah, if you're trying, like, the Criterion sale's going on now, so if you're trying to look for titles to pick up, make this one of them. It's a bona fide classic, and if you're into horror or thrillers, this is a no-brainer. Out of any of the De Palma films, pick this one up. It's sick. But anyways, guys, peace.